All right. Episode 106. 106 at Luna.
6 is a big number in Connecticut this year.
Oh, that's right.
That's right.
Congrats on that.
Thank you much.
My name is Eric Feeney, founder and president of Friends of Feeney, and this is Feeney Talks with Friends. I use this podcast and I talk to wonderful people in the community that are doing great things. And we're here with
GameDay Conor. Wonderful people and GameDay Conor.
No, you're the man. GameDay. We just did some math. Over 600,000 people see you a year.
Probably more than that now, yeah.
600,000?
Yeah, maybe might be over 750,000.
That was third grade math. So yeah, maybe. All right.
Carry the one.
More
round up.
Almost a million people.
Yeah, round up to a million people. Yeah, something like that probably.
So we're here with GameDay Conor. You may recognize him from the Hartford Yard Goats.
Yes, sir.
Connecticut Sun.
Yes, sir.
UConn Huskies.
Yes, sir.
UConn football. Oh, I said Huskies.
Yeah.
UConn basketball.
I do men's basketball, women's basketball, and football as well, and some hockey and other events that they have me do too.
And you're the on-field
host, in-game host, MC. There's a couple different terms depending on what the venue itself is. In-arena host is one I think we're using down at Mohegan Sun Arena. So, but all some version of that role.
No, wonderful job, and you do such a good job. We'll get right into it. We have sponsors. We're here at Luna Pizza at $9.99. Our friend Alex, episode 75. Go back and check it out. Luna Pizza, Golf Law Group, West Hartford Lock, People's Bank, the Fix IV, and I hope I got them all.
I got to get in the sponsorship game, apparently. Yeah. This is good. And listen, not to blow smoke up your sponsor, but there's a Luna Pizza now in Wethersfield, not far from my house. So I've got Luna leftovers sitting in my fridge as we speak.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Same owner.
Yep.
Alex owns both.
I've met him.
I'm heading to Wethersfield today to go check out my daughter play softball.
You'll be right by my house.
I heard that. Yeah, I've never even seen the Luna.
Drive like your kids live there, okay, Eric? I can say that now as a dad. Like, speed gun, outside my window. Slow down. I'm an old guy now.
All right, so you may have heard of this. West Hartford Lock. 3 keys that make you a great on-field arena announcer, DJ. 3 keys.
3 keys that it's presumptuous that I'm, that makes me a good one. But I would say you have to, from my vantage point, I try very hard not to play to the crowd. I invite the crowd to participate in whatever's going in on the court or on the field. But I think in order to come across as kind of genuine and natural, I try to run good promos, and everyone then who wants to, kind of watch what's going on is kind of invited to participate in that. So I try to play more to the contestants and what's going on locally around me. I know that's a little bit weird because so much of it is on camera, but I think that is part of the key is that I'm trying to have a more a stronger local product to the field and to the court, not necessarily just playing to the crowd. Number 2 is you have to be pretty confident in what you're going to say and know how you present yourself. I try very hard not to. I want to sound like I've done it 100 times, but that this could be my first time. I picked this lesson up in a previous job. It's called rehearsed natural. I want to sound like I've done it a million times, but maybe this is your first game, and I want that to feel pretty genuine as well, too. And you got to be okay with, kind of the things that come along with it. If you're not comfortable with, the visibility or the recognition or even the pressure and the nerves that can come with it, then you're probably not going to enjoy this job very much. So I think those are 3 things that kind of go into it that produce a more effective or a better product.
No, you're great. You get on the dugout and dance and have dance competitions.
Shameless. You got to be shameless, too. Yeah, that's a 4th key.
You encourage those baby little kid goats to run real fast. I mean, you're encouraging racing. Some of those kids they have some jets.
Lightning bolts. And there's like an inherent competition when you're, of a young age that you don't want to be embarrassed. So you will get your engine running as fast as possible. And, the age discrepancy, too, the difference between having like a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old, there's just some,
I saw one.
Versus 3rd grade. There's a massive difference.
He went down the first baseline and just kept going towards the wall. That was hilarious.
That is what we in the business call great content. That's
yes.
That's good for business.
Yeah, you worked that.
It's good for business.
Yeah, you're very quick on your feet, witty, and you like to be unscripted, right? You talked about that.
Yeah,
unscripted.
So the scripts that I use are generated by kind of the marketing and the promotions team, and I'm given those scripts to kind of execute what they've come up with. I like to be unscripted in that I don't like to have it in my hand, and I don't like to read verbatim. I like to have some creative license to, again, make it sound more rehearsed natural. So I need to know what the elements are that I have to get across. Maybe there's a sponsorship read. Maybe there's kind of a trajectory of the promo. The baby goat race that you're referencing is like a really good one, right? So where do they start? Where do they finish? What's the process like to get from A to B? And then kind of bringing everybody along for that ride. But I don't like to be reading, and I don't like every game to be exactly the same necessarily. So I like there to be room for that creativity. I like to, whatever I'm given in terms of, if you imagine, for example, like the kiss cam, it's always the same thing in that it's always people who are or are not kissing on a camera, and they are or are not aware of it on the same Jumbotron at Duncan Park. That's the structure. But the content that I get in every single one of those is different. The who and the how and the makeup of what I'm seeing is not something that I know about when the camera turns to those seats in that row. So you have to be ready to, when I learned improv, they teach this as an offer. So you either have to accept or reject every single offer that you get. And I don't have the luxury of rejecting it, so I have to figure out how to work with it in real time. And hopefully, more often than not, what I come up with is compelling, engaging, funny, witty, memorable, without being offensive or over the line or degrading or any of those kinds of things. So there's a parameter that I try to work within to keep it entertaining for everybody. Even if it's your 100th kiss cam, you've never seen those two people kiss. So how do I come up with something that maybe is relevant to that?
So the improv, yes, and you're like
yes, and
yes,
yeah,
and.
not always, not in all improv.
Well, not in that, yeah.
There's plenty of improv where you can say no, but, and you can redirect. But in my world, when you have a microphone and you're in live entertainment, it's almost always yes, and running with it.
I made the kiss cam. Nicole Feeney, she loved it. I did it real cool too.
They
I
still
put the
talk
hat
about
backwards.
That. Yeah, they still talk about it.
It was monumental.
Yeah.
It was monumental. It was the first time in 18 years since we got married. It was the second kiss
that
we've ever had.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Thanks,
nice.
Nicole. I appreciate that. I think game day, you made that happen.
You're just gonna have to keep coming back for games. That's how we're. You let me know when you got tickets. We'll get the kiss cam on you for number 3 and number 4.
I love it. No, I want to thank you. You're here. You were very generous. You volunteered your time, and you.
This is volunteer.
Oh, let me go.
I don't get pizza.
Oh, you're getting pizza. Best
pizza. Let's go.
Best pizza ever. Again, $9.99 Luna Pizza. Check it out.
Happy to be here.
This is the place. What was your bacon ranch?
The chicken bacon ranch.
Okay.
Yeah, the chicken bacon ranch is phenomenal here.
Never had it. Looking forward to it.
I didn't want to be too bougie. I'm a non-red onion guy. I don't like, veggies don't have a place really on my pizzas. But the chicken bacon ranch is out of this world, and their buffalo chicken. I'm going to shout out their boneless tenders are probably the best I've ever had, and I'm not saying that because I sit here. I've said that to anybody who will listen. They're very, very good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, can you compare and contrast the West Hartford to Wethersfield? Same product or?
I haven't been to this location for dine-in, I don't know ever. I've gotten takeout, or people have gotten takeout when I've done things here. So today will be a really good and because it'll be twice in a week, shout out my waistline, I'll be able to tell you for sure.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Nice. We'll make a Venn diagram.
Yeah.
Luna, Wethersfield,
the good,
West
the bad,
Hartford.
the overlapping.
Yes. No, it's great. Well, I was going to thank you for volunteering to do the Heckle Hole at our second annual Friends of Feeney golf tournament at Goodwin Park.
My pleasure.
Raising $395
in a very short period of time.
In about 2 hours.
Yeah, because I had to.
Yeah, that was impressive.
Yeah,
impressive.
The Heckle Hole is a cool idea.
Funny, impressive. I saw it done. I heard about it, and I was like, I got a guy. And you made do, and you are hilarious. And then you encouraged me. I felt terrible. I just wanted to go around and heckle for the rest of the day.
It's contagious.
Oh, yeah. Nice shorts. Look at your hair.
Yeah.
You're
ugly. You're out of here. Yeah, no, I know. It was that was a lot of fun. That was novel. What I learned is that there are friends who will just pay almost any amount of money to insult their buddy, and that's a market that was worth capitalizing on.
Then I'm here to say that we're honored to have you back. September 14th.
Yeah, buddy.
We're going to be at Tunxus this time. We're very excited. So Tunxus, Saturday, September 14th. It starts at 9 o'clock. We changed the times. We changed locations, but we're really excited. And what we're not changing is Conor's going to be there.
Yes, sir. Pending playoffs.
I know. I don't want to root against.
I know. That's the only they're. But yes, all signs point to me being there. I'm telling everybody right now, start saving your quarters, your nickels, your dimes. Put those together because that money is going to be well used for me to insult your friends and enforce them. So,
while you're doing that, can you cut a promo about our golf tournament, and 100%. We're going to cut that up for Instagram, reel.
You got it.
Cut a promo right there.
Friends of Feeney, I expect to see you on September 14th for a 9 a.m. shotgun for the 3rd annual Friends of Feeney Golf Tournament to support not only a great cause, but I will be there making sure to heckle the golfers. If you want me to shut up and not heckle you, you're going to have to contribute to Friends of Feeney. If you want me to heckle extra hard, your friends or the foursome in front of you, I'll be there for that too. So come out, join us. It'll be a great day, a lot of fun to support Friends of Feeney. See you there.
Boom. All right, we're going to chop that up. It's going to be great. What minute was that? 13 and a half. We'll cut it up. Perfect. Vertical.
Clap it.
Vertical that. And we also do, is Erin ready?
Erin.
We also, Friends of Feeney is very excited. We sponsor
Drumroll.
the girls softball, and we have someone that played against the Friends of Feeney team. Let's welcome on the show, Erin.
Come on over, Erin.
Want to stand right there?
Yeah, right over there.
Your mic right here.
Hi.
Hey, say hi. Say hi to the world.
Hi.
What kind of pizza did you get, Erin? Let's start there.
A large cheese pizza.
A large cheese pizza. Good choice. Good choice. The old standby.
So how is it playing in the West Hartford Girls Softball League?
It's really fun.
What are your 3 favorite things?
Basically everything. I love all the nice coaches and everything. I also love how they provide extra equipment for people who forget it.
Very cool.
And I also love playing the game.
Yeah. What's your favorite position?
Pitcher.
Pitcher. Got the golden arm. And who are you sponsored by? Can we see the back of your shirt? Ooh, the West Hartford Police Officers Association. Give it up. Chief Riddick was a guest. Chief Riddick was a wonderful guest.
Yeah,
Friends of Feeney. So what color are they?
They are green.
And what was the score? Do you remember?
I think it was something like 3-0 or something like that.
Nice. And have you ever attended a Hartford Yard Goats game?
Plenty of times.
Yeah, let's go, Erin.
Do you know who my guest is?
It's Conor.
It's Conor. What's a good character trait to describe Conor?
Funny and kind.
Funny and kind. What do you say about that, Conor?
I appreciate that, Erin. That's making me bashful, funny and kind. That's what I try to be. So thank you very much for coming out. Thank you for noticing that what I try to be is what you're getting as a fan. It means a lot to me.
We got one more question. It's going to be we'll go back to Conor for this. Who is your favorite teacher?
My teacher I have right now, Lori Perry.
Lori Perry. What school?
Morley Elementary.
Morley Elementary. You heard it here. What makes Mrs. Perry a good teacher?
When someone's like not very good at something, they struggle with it, she can really like take you, like she can get that done for you and really pay attention to it for you, so you can get better at it.
All right. You got your favorite position, pitcher.
Mrs.
Your
Perry,
favorite.
shout
out to Mrs. Perry. How about what's the principal's name? Big tall guy.
Mr. Cleary.
Ryan Clary. That's my guy, Ryan Clary. You tell Ryan Clary that Feeney said hi. Will you do that?
Yep.
Any final closing remarks for our friends out in the world?
Not much.
Go Yard Goats.
Go Yard Goats.
Go Yard Goats. Go Luna Pizza. Go Girls Softball. Go Morley. High five, Erin.
Bring it in, yes. Say hi when you're at a game next time, okay? All right, thank you. Nice to meet you.
Erin. All right, had to bring in Erin. She was wearing the West Hartford softball. We're honored to sponsor. Friends of Feeney is sponsoring the Girls Softball League. So, swing it to you. Favorite teacher?
So, my favorite teacher, I have stages of favorite teacher. So, I'm going to say my favorite teacher probably of all, right? And she was earlier on. She was my 5th grade teacher, Mrs. Hollows, Bonnie K. Hollows. She, was really really nice to hear Erin talk about like having a teacher that recognizes if there's an opportunity to improve at something or maybe something you're struggling with. And, you know, we know those teachers, right, who go out of their way and they're so good at understanding kind of what's needed to get a kid to where they should be. Mrs. Hollows, for me, was somebody who showed me the potential in what I could be. I was, I think I was what the kids call a nerd when I was younger. Really, like, enjoyed school. I enjoyed math. I enjoyed reading. I enjoyed test taking. I was really, you know, I was a nerd for sure. And she was someone who challenged me to be better than I thought I could be. And I actually have a memory of her that involves baseball. I think my parents at like a school auction or something got like a 4-pack of tickets to the Norwich Navigators. And it was go to a game with your teacher. And it was Mrs. Hollows. And at the time, I was in the 4th grade. And I just remember the car ride down to Norwich with her. And she was like asking me questions about subjects and material that I would see with her the following year. And knew some of it, and you know, she was certain. I remember her being like kind of duly impressed that I knew how many feet were in a mile or something like that. And but the entire next year that I had with her, she really just she put me in an environment that allowed me to be as successful as I wanted to be, and that was only in the 5th grade. I still keep in touch with her to this day. A group of friends of mine will meet up with her and have pizza, and you know, so that's really, really sweet. She'll come to games, so I love that. And that there's a relationship even, you know, almost 30 years later is really special.
Yeah.
I definitely had some, you know, kind of college instructors that meant a lot to me in terms of, you know, where I was at with my education and my world of exploration there. That stood out to me. You know, some of those professors were really impactful. But Mrs. Hollows takes the cake. She was my favorite teacher.
Yep. Wow, that's cool. My 5th grade teacher was
Yeah,
mine.
man.
Mrs. Jarrell changed my life, you know. You know, cared, and my parents were going through a tough time, and she took me under her wing, and I started off, everyone sat in groups of 4. I sat off by myself. All the kids were playing Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego and Oregon Trail.
Mm-hmm.
I had to earn that. I couldn't play the computer. And then by the end of the year, I got gumshoe, you know.
Yeah,
so it's
yeah,
like,
man.
died of dysentery.
I was
you know?
just watching the Rockapella Carmen Sandiego song like last night. It popped up on my feed. I was like, oh yeah, that's. Yeah. I won't do it now.
In the world, that's classic.
Yeah.
No, so cool. So teachers, yeah. I mean, I'm in my 20th year. I taught 9 years in Waterbury, where I was born and raised. I taught at the same school that I went to, Kingsbury School. That's where I had Mrs. Jarrell. And now I'm in my 11th year in West Hartford at Wolcott Elementary School.
Awesome.
So, and that's where I started Friends of Feeney. And I didn't know where Friends of Feeney would take me, but here I am, sitting across from GameDay Conor.
Yeah, buddy. Listen, not knowing where things are going to go is kind of like my life. I mean, I had no clue. I had no interest. I had no concept. I had no idea that there was even a role in sports, let alone something that kind of did this whole crowd-facing entertainment thing. And it's novel because a lot of professional sports don't necessarily have it in the way, you know, don't do what I do. So people ask me all the time, they'll be like, are you going to go to the big leagues? Are you going to get called up to? And it's like, there's not the same market for fan engagement and entertainment when you hit a certain point, right? Or it's not the same kind of personalized, smaller venue attention that I think we have here in Connecticut. I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean that in a really positive way. You know, if you're one of 60,000 people at an NFL stadium, it's much harder to kind of get that interaction with Erin, you know, and the Erins of the world. We do have that here in Connecticut, and that's, I think, largely one of the reasons I attribute even what I do now as being anything that people recognize or is successful, is that people do know who you are and you do see them down the street, and it's not this kind of behind closed doors or unattainable person who does this thing. It's, you know, I'm 100 feet away from you at all times, you know, and I think people like that.
Now, do the Yankees or Mets or these guys, do they have on-field?
Not in the same way. They do. A lot of their stuff is in the stands. I was just at a Yankee game this past weekend for the first time in a while, and I was kind of taking note of like how they do their run of show and their production. And there is somebody who goes up into the stands and will do some on-camera hits and some promotional things, but there's no races on the field. There's no, T-shirt cannons happening from center field. There's no dancing on top of the dugout. It's a different kind of environment. It's a different scale of venue. So I don't know that. Could I have done what the woman who was doing that job? Could I have done that? Yeah, certainly. But it's different. It's a different feel and doesn't have the same kind of flair for fun that I prefer to have.
Now, do you? How much is a T-shirt cannon?
I don't know what we could find this out. We got the tools. Let's look it up.
Because I love catching T-shirts.
I know you love catching T-shirts. That and Kiss Cam.
In the Kiss Cam.
Yeah.
How about the the UConn game? I'm like, Conor, and you looked at me from far away. Perfect dime was coming right to me, hit me in my bread basket.
Yep.
And my buddy Ty
played
defense, tried to catch it with one hand, slapped it out of my hand. I didn't catch it.
It's not my fault.
And I was
That's
like,
not my
give
fault.
me another one. You're like, nope.
I'm not. I can't play favorites like that. Listen, if you're lucky enough, this is a mini. The Bleacher Reacher Pro is $1,700.
Ooh.
So we're gonna have to heckle a lot of friends for.
Maybe we could incorporate that to the golf tournament.
I don't know if that's like top of the line, but the Bleacher Reacher sounds like it's top of the line.
But yeah, Ty's playing D. I mean,
he was not a friend of Feeney that day.
Not a friend of Feeney.
Yeah.
Ty, you owe me.
He was a friend of me.
Frenemy of Feeney.
A Feeney friend of me.
And then I had to tell you later on, they were throwing out blue T-shirts, and I caught one. And I was like, Conor, I got one.
I didn't throw that one to you.
Listen,
I wasn't stacking the
I was
deck
like,
that.
I didn't. I caught this one. I just wanted to prove that I caught it. Ty played D. And I'm wearing one. I caught this one at the Yard Goats. This was like the first year.
That was early on.
So this is vintage throwback.
That one has seen some lawn mowing sessions, I can tell.
A little yellowish. But I wore the one with the thumbs.
Yep.
Already when I interviewed Chuck Coursey. So I didn't want to wear that one. My man Chuck.
Good dude. Hi, Mary.
I wore the polo when I interviewed Jeff Dooley.
Yep.
Episode 96, which I can't believe you haven't watched yet. It hurts me.
Listen. I hear Jeff all the time.
Oh,
all right.
Beautiful voice, right?
Great. The man is a gem, and I was so happy he got his MLB call up last season. That was really cool.
We talked about that at like minute 45.
Well, he's the only guy that travels with the team in the front office. So he puts in a lot of hours. He logs a lot of
West
time.
Hartford guy.
Yep. Great
guy.
Yep. Very good guy.
So Ty, Heckle Hole, and then we've been going for 4 years in August to do a fundraiser, and we sit up upper deck.
Yep.
And it's been so meaningful. It started off 2 years ago. Now we've been supporting Friends of Nicholas Parenti. Mm-hmm. It was his last fundraiser 2 years ago. He saved up all his energy to go, and he was surrounded by 200 of his friends and family. And then he passed like a week later. So it was very tough. Last year we did a Friends of Nicholas, and Rob Parenti threw out the first pitch.
I remember.
And Rob had his son's bracelet on, Friends of Nicholas, and he was like very emotional. And then, I was videoing with my buddy Matt, and we were watching the whole thing go down, and he was nervous about throwing. He was feeling it about Nick, and then you went over and talked with him. Do you remember that? Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so there are times where I need to be very conscious of not only the fact that I'm going out to do something, but I'm often bringing people with me. And that's not necessarily everybody's wheelhouse, either naturally or situationally. So I do think it's part of my responsibility to try as hard as I can to make sure that if people are either uncomfortable or are carrying some sort of a burden with them, sometimes it's a kid who's got nerves, and doesn't quite know, that they're going to embarrass themselves. And sometimes it's a more somber situation. And I've had a number of those, and so it's very hard to put yourself in someone else's shoes when they're going through something that you haven't experienced in the way that they have. But you also can be a guideline for them to help them understand what it's going to be like and make them understand that they're going to feel better when they walk off the diamond in almost every single case. and all they have to do is put a little trust in you that I'll help them get there, and I'll make sure that they know what to do, when to do it, where to go, and I can take those things away from them so that if they had the motivation to walk down on the field in the first place, but then you hit that barrier, I try to break that barrier down and get back to that reason you stepped here and agreed to do it. And I remember that conversation, and I remember the embrace that we had, and I remember I had a very tough year last year. I lost my father in December, and we knew that his diagnosis was terminal for a little over a year. And I think in some ways understanding that that those kinds of moments that you can honor somebody and you can literally step up to the plate or the mound and do something that not everybody gets to do and do it for a reason, that's a special moment. And so I think I was very aware of that at that point in time and wanted him to know that it was okay to be a little nervous, okay to feel the emotions that he was feeling. And if he just gave me a few minutes of his time, he'd be on the other side of it and grateful that he did it. So, sometimes that's what the moment calls for.
Yeah. No, they embrace, and he felt like he had so much emotion, and that talk and that embrace helped him get it out. It was a really good moment. We got a nice picture of it too.
I appreciate that.
So
yeah, well, it was very genuine. So
now you definitely have a way to connect. Good at reading people, good at reading the crowd. I think that's what makes you good, and that makes you Game Day Conor.
Yeah, buddy. Thank you.
New game. So based on your events, your Game Day Conor events, first, last, best, worst. Your first event, your last event, your best one, and your worst one.
Well, if I'm dealing exclusively in sort of the game day world, my first event was the opening day of the 2018 Yard Goat season. That was the first time I got on a microphone in a sports venue in that regard. I had done some work kind of on the promotion side, mascotting for the team, but to be out in front and center first.
2018.
That was the
first year
early
of the Yard
spring
Goats.
That was the second year of the Yard Goats. They opened in 2017.
That's right.
I didn't join the team until October full time. So I was hired as the director of events in the fall of 2017. The hosting position came after that, and they were not tied together. In fact, I sort of had to do a little arm twisting to get Tim and Mike to kind of let me do that job. I auditioned, and they really liked my audition. But because I worked at the stadium, I worked at the ballpark so much doing all of the events for non-games, meaning if you were doing your birthday party, in the off season, or you were a law firm doing your holiday party, or you were getting married, or any of those kinds of things, my office did literally 150 events a year besides the 70 or so Yard Goats games. So they were kind of reluctant to give me the role, even though after my audition, they really liked me for it, because they thought I would get burnt out. And they didn't want my full-time job to suffer from kind of this part-time gig. And so I had to convince them. I said, well, I'll be honest with you. If I feel burnt out, I'll tell you, and you be honest with me. If my performance suffers, you tell me. And until that happens, let's see how it goes. And so they finally agreed, and that is kind of how the first job came. So I'm doing this out of order here because you're going to have to remind me what I have to answer. But the relationship I got with the University of Connecticut came as a direct result of that, because UConn baseball played a game at then Dunkin' Donuts, now Dunkin' Park. And UConn asked if in the course of that game they could use some of the Yard Goats promotional items. And so we agreed, and that included me as the MC. So I hosted the UConn baseball game and apparently did a strong enough job there that they asked me to do some more work for them. So that's kind of how that all started too. So, but it was definitely April of 2018 for the Yard Goats.
Nice.
What was the next one you wanted? The most recent one?
Yeah.
So last, obviously we're in season for the Yard Goats, so my last one was last Sunday at Dunkin' Park, but also recently came off of another national championship, which I'll shout out, so a little overlap there. So the parade was kind of my last basketball
Yeah, what was your role at the parade?
I was on the stage. So when the team pulled up in the double-decker bus, and I got to, so I was on the dais, and everybody who was packed into Trumbull, kind of, from Asylum Street up to Church Street, that whole, Pratt, all of that, keeping everybody hype while the parade was going on, and then kind of just introducing the players and the dignitaries that were going to be speaking
Nice.
for the conclusion of the parade.
A lot of friends were there. I couldn't make it. My daughters had something, and I saw you with Donovan.
Yeah,
Nice pick with Donovan.
Well, it's funny because I sort of have this, I don't know if it's just me thing, but I try hard not to, the players and the student athletes and the baseball players, they're all working. This is what they're doing, right? So I try not to interfere with their world terribly much when I can avoid it. But as he was leaving the stage, knowing he had declared for the draft, I being from Connecticut, I said, "Listen, I don't do this a lot, but can I get a picture?" And
nice. I got one. I saw him at the Travelers.
Yeah.
And he's on a hill, and I'm down the hill a little
Yeah.
bit. Oh my God, that guy looks like he's.
Oh yeah, he's
8
but
feet tall.
he's so nice, and I have such a respect for, the level of engagement and request that those guys get, that I try not to add to that, for the Yard Goats and the UConn Student Athletes and this upcoming season, the Connecticut Sun players. I try very hard to let them kind of be in their environment.
Would he be cool if would he do an autograph session for Friends of Feeney?
I have no
Fundraiser?
idea. I don't get to pull that string. That ain't me.
What's your take, percentage-wise? What do you think?
He's very in demand, and you're in the NIL world. NIL world changes a lot of things for those guys. So
he's got that solar energy billboard.
Yeah, I've seen it. That's a life-size image, actually. I'm pretty sure. I'm not that.
We got two families we're helping. Come on, Donovan, I'm going to hit you up.
Donovan, I didn't say nothing, Donovan. Don't.
I met you at the game,
at
the
nothing.
golf tournament. I gave you my card. I told you our mission.
You're going to AI my voice and turn it into a request, aren't you? I know you.
I'm going to hit him up on Facebook. And Hurley, too. What about Hurley? Can I get Hurley? I met him at CCMC.
There's a lot of Hurleys, Mr. Feeney. There's a lot of Hurleys.
All right. Bobby.
There you go.
Dan Sr.
There you go.
No, that was great. So were you at the parade are you having a good time? Let me hear you say, yeah.
Yes. I mean, you might as well just take my job at this point. It was 5 of those and a couple of UConn Huskies chants.
That's my next question. I think I'm firing away questions.
Yeah.
You got to get me Donovan on, Dan Hurley on, and if you ever need a sub,
gotta get me.
Can I get a sub? Can I get some mic time?
We'll get
Welcome
you.
here to Dunkin' Donuts Park.
It's Duncan Park. You're gonna get. You're fired immediately. Name change happened.
We're playing
we can
Portland
get you. We'll get you an audition. How about that?
All right, deal. Because you can't make every game. You're having a baby soon.
Another one.
Congratulations,
Thank you
by
very
the way.
much.
I'm only congratulating you because that's my opening.
Baby girl number 2.
That's when you're not going to be there.
Unfortunately for you, that'll be October, so that'll be after baseball season. We'll see when she arrives. The basketball is kicking in and football is going on, but fortunately, I have a very loving and understanding wife. So,
behind every good man, there's a strong woman, right?
Much stronger than I am.
Shout out to Mrs. Geary.
Shout out to Mrs. G. Shout out to my lovely wife Victoria, my daughter Harper Rose, and baby girl number 2 on the way. And I'll also thank the student athletes that helped us with that gender reveal, which was very cool.
I was just going to get to that.
Yeah.
How cool was that?
Super cool.
When they were dunking and the ball came out and there's a video.
So that was totally that. So that was my original thought, right? And this was even my wife was like, "You're crazy." My original thought was maybe be at center court at Gamble, and either the men's team was going to run out or the women's team was going to run out, and everybody was like, "Nah, it's a little bit much." I was like, "Okay, I get that." But they were very gracious enough to coordinate some of the student athletes in the off season. That week was the WNBA draft, so some of the student athletes were away, and it was awesome of them though to make that happen. And I didn't know what to expect of the final product until we watched it. I mean, I didn't ask them to alley-oop like that. That was something they took
really
on
cool,
themselves. It was really cool. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Now, are you going to name your kid Brianna, Rebecca? What do you got? Deanna?
We're working.
Sue Bird? What are you naming her?
We're working on the list. We're working on the list. There's no leading candidates right now.
But 2 girls. I have 2 girls. So if you need some advice, girl dad all the way.
Interesting.
Boom.
I'm surprised you. Is that what you call whiskey? Advice? That's nice. I might get some.
And you didn't bring the hardware. I heard it's getting fixed. Where's the ring, man?
Yeah, the ring will be back in week. So I was extremely fortunate to be on the list of folks who were receiving the championship ring from the men's national championship. Never thought. Listen, when you have really no, physical athletic skills beyond high school, it's not really a world you think you're going to be in that much. But very fortunate. My philosophy very quickly on it, like when I first got it, I was like never gonna touch this thing. I'm gonna put it, behind glass and all that. I was like, that's such a waste, So my philosophy quickly became, I get to take the ring home, but it's everybody's ring. So I've tried very hard to make sure that students can interact with it, bring it to, the student section at men's games, let photo ops happen, and let people enjoy it, because I know how cool that is, and I know how fortunate I am to own that. But as a result of that, it needed a little TLC.
What happened?
I don't want to blame.
Did you drop it?
I don't want to blame.
Did the jewel come
daughter.
out?
Nope, no jewels came out. No jewels came out.
Dented a little bit? Come on. Drop an exclusive.
Dented's not the right word.
Scuffed?
No, not scuffed. It just needed to be, let's just say, reassembled by a professional. Reassembled by a professional. I think I made
Big
the
rock
mistake.
or little rock?
It wasn't a rock, I promise. I think I made the mistake of leaving it on the coffee table, after getting home one night, and it's very possible that my daughter decided that was a gavel.
Nice.
But all the stones were intact. All the stones were intact.
Harper.
Daddy
cool.
is not that mad at you. It's my fault.
I love it.
It's very cool. It's very, very cool.
Could have brought it on the episode 106.
You're going to have me back for, me and Dooley to tag team in 16 episodes.
Deal.
And I'll bring the hardware. Yeah, no, if it was back, I would have brought it. It is, I think, in transit maybe for next week.
Dooley said something really cool. So we're doing August 16th. Please join us at our 3rd annual Friends of Nicholas game at the Yard Goats. Dooley said if I show up on the 15th, he's going to get me on the air.
Oh, cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I'm really getting in the booth with Dooley. It's going to be great. Have you been in the booth with Dooley on the air?
I've been in the booth with Dooley on the air, but I've never been on the air with Dooley in the booth.
Let's go.
Yeah, that's a predicate.
With Dooley in the booth.
With Dooley in the booth.
On the booth. On the air. No, you talked about, yes, and we talked about your wittiness. So you had that background with City Steam and Brouhaha.
Yeah, for sure.
Have you done stand-up comedy, or you just hosted?
No, I
or just attended a lot.
Yeah, well, that's true too. So I never did stand-up, right? I thought about it for a little while. I never really formally wrote down material and worked on a set. But I got to know a lot of the comics. I was a judge one year at the Boston Comedy Festival, which was super cool. And just kind of got to know a lot of people on the circuit largely between Atlantic City and through Boston, so a lot of the New York City comedians. And when they would come to City Steam at the Brouhaha, I would introduce, I was the manager of the club. So I made it part of my management capacity to not only introduce the comedians, but also set the expectations with the audience. To, you get hecklers and it's a brewery, right?
Yeah.
So, people partake in the local flavors and, a couple nurses in and you
Get off the stage,
right?
boo.
You got some scenarios. So I would just make it part of my shtick to intro them and do a little bit of crowd work and set some expectations. And sometimes the crowd work would hit pretty well. I was offered by many of the comics to do opening, sets for them, but
I've always wanted to try that.
It's a blast, man.
I've done improv twice at CT Improv.
Yeah.
But I wanted to try stand-up.
Shout out CT Improv. I auditioned for CT Improv. But
wait, to make their show, or
to be part of the improv troupe. Yeah.
And what happened?
I think they were smarter than I was, that the level of commitment they wanted to get out of and where they saw CT Improv going, I was probably not going to be able to deliver on. So despite probably liking me, I never joined the group, but I love them very much. So yeah, it was, I don't know, being in the comedy club, there is no feeling like having a joke that hits. No feeling like it.
Yeah.
Cannot be replicated.
I did it-
No applause, no nothing. Nothing feels as good as
You
having
feel
a
like
joke that
owning the
people laugh
room.
at.
It's definitely a high because I did a speak up. It's like the Moth 8-minute story of my life about Mrs. Jarrell, my fifth grade teacher. And I paused, and the crowd was like on my pause. And I was like, I'm owning this room. Or I tell a joke, and I see people like,
Yep.
so it's a great feeling. So that's what makes me want to try it.
It's a blast.
All right, before we forget, we did first, last. We
Oh,
did
yeah, I'm
best,
sorry.
worst.
So best, worst. Okay. Best, worst.
Best event, worst event. That's tough. It's like picking your favorite kid.
Well, I'm also I'm very conscious of not wanting to shout out my worst event. I have a very public, visibly, so I did an event. I know what my worst event was. I know where it was. I know who it was for. I know what my worst event was. I'm not going to call it out specifically. I'm just going to say that my job becomes significantly less enjoyable when there are substantial technical difficulties that inhibit me from doing what I'm doing, and then kind of feeling like, you're the one at center court, right? Or you're the one at home plate, or you're the one on the mound, or you're the one. So it's very difficult if you are burdened with technical difficulties that are no person's fault. But my worst event, the event that I left with feeling like high blood pressure and a level of embarrassment for. I know what that event was, and that was my worst one. But it was totally a technical thing. It was not a.
Were you no mic? So did you have to yell, or?
So yelling. It's a good question. I yell by the nature of my role because I believe that the intensity of my voice is what carries people with me from a vibe, right? Some people inflect their voices and go very, very high when they want to be highly engaging. I try not to do that nearly as much. For me, it's more of an intensity thing. So the louder I get, the more I bring people with me. The softer I get, the more I'm dealing with the people on the field, right?
Teacher trick.
If you're the AV team, me yelling is unnecessary because I'm on a microphone, and the microphone is designed to amplify my voice, and there are levels in volume and all of that. But volume is not intensity. So, yes, sometimes I will feel like I have to yell to overcome a deficiency in audio volume. If I can't hear myself in a professional PA environment, I have a hard time believing that fans can hear me well. If I can hear myself too much, then I lose the ability to be intense because then I'm giving everyone,
All right, some AV lessons with GameDay Conor.
Yeah, and every sound system at every venue is different. So when I was in L.A. A couple weeks ago, a little more than that now, a month ago, when I was in L.A. for the West Regional, that was at Crypto.com Arena. I had never been on an indoor sound system that sounded anything like that. It was just so different, at a major league 20,000 person venue. That was very. When I hopped on the mic and there was no one there but some of the production people to do a little mic check, I actually scared myself, and I was the one doing the talking. That's a true story. When I did Lincoln Financial Field last year in Philadelphia, which I'm going back to at the end of this month for the lacrosse national championships, that's an outdoor system like I've never used before. So I have to be conscious of how I sound on each venue's audio so that I don't run over my words, so that I'm conscious of being able to know what my pace, what my intensity need to be so that fans can hear me, because I pride myself on fans knowing what I'm saying. There are plenty of times, I'm sure you've experienced too, where you've been at a venue and can't understand or can't hear, or it's just kind of background noise.
Yeah.
I try very hard for that not to be the case.
Someone yells, "Get the mic out of your mouth."
I am on. If you watch me, I am on the mic.
You're pretty close.
I'm very close.
But that's the mic style, right?
That's my. It is my style. It also, for me, it takes out the variability of the difference of being a few. Like if I'm holding here or
Same every time.
same every time. And then I can change. And because I have a job that requires me to be intense at times, it allows me to control that intensity a little bit more.
And then speaking of mics, shout out, you had the Friends of Feeney sticker on the mic for a couple years. I think after August, I gave you one at our fundraiser.
Yep.
And you wrote it out through the whole year, so that was really cool.
Right on, yeah.
I got a picture. So you got to do that again. We'll get you some stickers, get you some swag.
Swag, I got you.
But thank you. So best, worst, best time.
So that was first, that was last, that was worst. I haven't really given you best yet.
Do you need a driver or a roadie for these Philly trips for that lacrosse?
Come on down.
All right. You
Philly's
got a hotel?
I believe so. It hasn't been booked yet, but I think I'll have a hotel. Yeah.
All right. We'll get Geno's or Pat's or Steve's Prince of Steaks?
None of the above.
Tony's.
Nope. Tony's is good.
You think I could get it? Jimmy's?
It's on South Street. Jimmy's okay.
Not Tony Luke, South Street.
There's 2 locations, both in downtown Philly, like not far from each other.
Mike's.
Nope.
Paul's.
Nope.
It's definitely Steve's Prince of Steaks. That's my favorite. All right, what is it?
Ishkabibble.
Oh, you're making that up.
I'm not making that up.
You're making
Ish. Get a gremlin. A gremlin is grape, soda, and lemonade, and an Ishkabibble cheesesteak.
Okay.
With or without, I don't care. Whiz, I don't care. You do you.
I'm going to send it to my wife's cousin. Paul, John, and Mike, you hear this?
Ishkabibbles.
We have a checklist. We hit them all up.
There's Ish and Ish too. If you haven't been, you're missing out.
Ooh.
I'm. Anybody know Philly? Leave in the comments. You tell me how right I am.
Ishkabibble.
Ishkabibble. And I like the original, like the smaller one. Not Ish 2's fine, but the original.
Oh, and then there was a Schmitter. You ever have a Schmitter?
I've not had a Schmitter.
They used to sell those in the park, in Philly Stadium. There's like cheesesteak and then some other meat, some other cheese.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ishkabibble. I come home with for friends. I'll come home with like 4 Ishkabibble cheesesteaks.
Oh, you bring them home?
I'll bring
them
them
travel well and everything?
They travel. It's a cheesesteak. It travels awful.
Oh, man. Wow, you got a second?
I mean, I'm there every single time I'm in Philly. I'm going to Ishkabibble. So why go second when you're going to get the gold every time? I mean, I've had a lot of them. They're Beth's Geno's are fine. They're fine. They're good. They're good cheesesteaks. They're not Ishkabibble.
All right, your best moment. Wow, Ishkabibble. My
well,
brain.
You want my best event.
Best event.
You want my best event. So can I give you a couple answers?
Of course.
Because the environments that I'm in are different, right? So, like best thing there is nothing there was nothing better than having my family, my dad at a Yard Goats game and going up and sitting with them when my job was done and watching the last 2 innings, right? Just nothing in the world can beat that, period. That's not my best event. That's just a moment at an event that I'm at that really stands out to me. Special. Looking up and just knowing that, the people in my corner are there enjoying what I'm doing. Really important for me. Working an Elite 8 game in a professional capacity last month felt not top of the mountain, I mean, I don't know, but in this job, I have never known where the next thing was going to take me, and I've been so fortunate that it has taken me where it has. It was weird not being in front of a home crowd. It was weird not being in a venue I was particularly familiar with, but it wasn't lost on me that, what I was doing.
That was the LA one?
That was the LA one.
You did, that was Elite 8?
That was a Sweet 16, both Sweet 16 games, and then the Elite 8 game.
Wow, okay, cool.
Yeah. That is really kind of affirming, and again, it just wasn't lost. I'm standing there going, wow, this is cool, and the Elite 8 game definitely went better. I did better than I did in the Sweet 16 because I got a little more comfortable with the environment. So that Elite 8 game was a very natural.
Who was it?
Who was the game?
Yeah.
That was the Clemson Alabama game.
Oh, wow.
Which Alabama won and then
Yeah.
went on to play UConn. So, and there were some great games on there too. But that was really cool.
You know Frank Berrien? Frank
Berrien? Yeah.
Sonar. He
Yeah,
got called
Frank.
up to do something. Rangers, Philly. He got a tattoo.
Very cool. Yeah, yeah. He's
Tattoo.
done
You got to
that.
get the Elite Eight tattoo.
We'll see. Well, yeah, that'd be a good. I've always like wondered what my first ink was gonna be. I could put that.
I think I asked Dooley that too. Dooley, you gonna tattoo your Rockies
Dooley's
at
just
Philly?
gonna get a GameDay Conor logo right on his arm. You heard it here first. Yeah, and then
That's big time. Elite Eight in LA.
working in Elite Eight game again. It was different because it was not an environment where I knew anybody, right, and nobody knew me either. So that was very cool. But best events, I mean, golly, you put me in a sold-out top 5 matchup in downtown Hartford against Marquette, blowing the doors off the way.
Oh, yeah.
Did. I mean, there are just like some of those individual games, right, over the last couple of years, and some of the loudest I've heard Gamble has been some of the women's games. I mean, I remember tweeting like, "This is the loudest I've ever heard Gamble Pavilion." You know, this is
Nice.
the loudest I've ever heard Luna Pizza. Phew, that was
Perfect timing.
So yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to pick. I kind of have to like pick by venue or pick by team because they all feel different and mean different things to me. But that's a little snapshot. Give me a sold out crowd of just ravenous Huskies fans.
Yeah.
Nothing better in the world than being in my job.
Yeah.
You know.
Especially when Hurley looks back and goes, "Get up."
Well, that's almost an indictment on me. Like, should I have been doing something else? I don't know.
I was like,
doing
"What did he just say?" I love this guy.
Yeah, he's
Coming on the podcast.
It's up to you and him, not up to me.
Make it happen, Connor.
Not up to me.
We're going to take a quick pause. We're going to get the pizzas. Your
Yeah.
pizzas are here. And then we're going to come back with favorite restaurant. So we'll take a
Ooh.
quick little break. Favorite restaurant with a follow-up question.
All right, deal.
All right, we're back. Game Day Connor's favorite pizza. Chicken bacon ranch and the buffalo chicken. Check that out.
Let's go.
I've had the buffalo chicken. I'm really excited about this buffalo chicken ranch. What makes you pick these two flavors?
Well, I'm a buffalo chicken guy. Their buffalo chicken is top notch. My wife likes chicken bacon ranch too, so it's one that we can agree on pretty easily. So, happy wife, happy husband
Good life.
when it comes to pizza.
That's good stuff. Chicken bacon ranch. I like it. Buffalo chicken, of course. Yeah. Sliced and flavored. Nice spice to it.
I don't know that he'll ever hear this, but there's a guy on Twitter called Mr. Hotballs. Mr. Hotballs thinks that buffalo chicken on a pizza is an abomination.
Whoa.
He needs to come to Luna Pizza and tell me that. Mr. Hotballs, I'm calling you out.
Yeah, what's his relationship? What's he do? I see him on Twitter. I see you go back and forth, but is he a UConn? What's he affiliated?
He's a huge UConn fan.
But he gets on the court and stuff for stuff, right? Or no?
He did
Halftime show or something?
UConn Twitter banded together and got it so that they could do a promo to benefit the Husky Ticket Project. So they did a big fundraiser, and they actually like kind of fundraised their way into one of those promos. So yeah, he did the burrito roll a few years back. Yeah.
Hot balls. We're calling you out. Would Hot Balls be a good guest?
Nope. Mr. Hotballs will be a great guest on many a podcast. If you want to have a spinoff, I don't know, you know, this is a family, still a family podcast. Oh, Hotballs is that. Love you, Hotballs.
How about Big Red?
He's the man.
That dude's been doing that since 1975 or something.
He's missed like 12 games in his whole career.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
My friend Chad, I'd go with him years ago, and his dad, Greg, went to UConn. He was like, that guy's been doing this since 19... And I'm like, no way. And then there was a black and white photo of him doing it, and now currently, great guy. And he went to the championship. He went to Final Four.
I saw him in Brooklyn when when ESPN College Game Day came to Tampa this year.
He was there, and again, gave him the ring. And it was like a dream come true for him. Just he's such a sweet guy.
Does he have his own ring? He let
No, I
him
don't
hold
believe
your
so.
ring.
Mhm.
And who's the super fan that knits her own sweaters?
That's
Crocheting.
that's Angel.
Okay.
Angel Earl.
I saw that. That was really cool, too.
She's amazing. She gave our daughter onesies when she was born, so she's the best. The two of them were together.
Yeah.
It was the first time they had met.
Wow.
Believe it or not,
Two
at
super
the
fans.
ESPN Game Day.
Okay,
Yeah.
I saw that on Twitter, yep. All right, you got a favorite restaurant? Follow-up question.
I do have a favorite restaurant. I live in Wethersfield, as you know. I want to shout out my guy, Bryce Hardy, Bryce and Carrie, the owners of the Charles, down in Old Wethersfield. That's we had our rehearsal dinner there. We did our tasting. We told my parents that we were expecting that they were going to be grandparents at that restaurant. They do a wonderful job. I know they just expanded to bake the bakery shop on South Street Highway in Rocky Hill. I know they've got other plans. They're great people, great fans too. I see Bryce bringing his daughter Charlotte out to UConn games all the time. That's definitely my favorite restaurant.
Yeah, special place.
Special place for us.
Special moments.
Yep.
Special player.
What's up, brother?
That's the first thing I thought of. I'm trying to get that guy on the podcast.
Special food, special restaurants.
No, I figure when you started Wethersfield, I've never been, and I heard great things about the Charles, so I really have to try it.
Gotta go.
I'm dropping your name all the time.
Let me know when you go.
All right.
Let me know when you go.
All right.
I live a mile from you.
All right.
Let me know when you go.
We'll double date.
Deal. Maybe you get another kiss.
Ooh, true.
Maybe.
You pull out your phone and say it's Kiss Cam.
Yeah, maybe.
We'll trick her into another one. No, the pizza's great. Oh, favorite. So you're at the Charles. You could eat with 4 people, dead or alive. Who are you eating with? Anyone in the world?
Give me a sec.
Oh, while you do that, I'm going to do a couple shout-outs.
Yeah, give me a sec. I wasn't prepared for this.
I like to thank
I think I have 3 out of 4, so go ahead.
I like to thank my friend Kyle. Kyle's a nurse. She's my neighbor as well. And she was honored and celebrated as a People of Purpose from her hospital. And she got to choose, shout out to Kyle, Eastern Connecticut Health Network. That's Kyle, K-Y-L-E, Kyle. And she picked a nonprofit, and they wrote a check for $500 to Friends of Feeney. So thank you, Kyle.
Awesome.
Thank you to the Greater Host Lions Club. They just donated $200. They're going to be sponsoring our Memorial Day T-shirts and our golf tournament again on September 14th. Game Day Conor will be there. We'll have a whiskey hole. We'll have a drink mechanics hole. We'll have a heckle hole.
And those are going to be all the same hole.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, my guy, John. Thank you so much, Mr. Feeney. You're the best teacher ever. I think this because you helped me in class, and we love you. Thank you, John. That's my guy, John. And then 2 kids. Look at that. We're inspiring kids to be a good friend. Be a good friend.
Awesome.
That was my thank yous. Lions,
Great
golf,
friends.
Kyle. Thanks again, Kyle. 4 people you're going to eat with.
My father, my father's father, who I never met, my mother's father, who died a number of years ago, and Mickey Mantle.
Wow. Interesting. Yeah, older guys love Mickey Mantle.
That's why I'm doing that for them.
And your dad would love.
I'll get him to sign a ball, and then I'll bring it back, to today.
Yeah.
It'll be worth something. You know what I mean? But
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that would be my
older guys love the Mick.
Yep. He was my dad's favorite player. I never met Mickey Mantle, so
yeah,
I think that'd be my.
Where'd I just see? I saw 2. I sat in front of a game. We go to a Yankee game, and there's a gentleman in front of me. He's a retired New York cop, and he's like, "Yeah." He looks back. He goes, "I struck out Mickey Mantle," and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Well, I'm a New York City police officer, and we're walking the beat, and it's late, and here comes Mickey coming out of an establishment late at night." And he's like, "Hey, that's Mick." And they start talking. He's like, "I bet you I could strike you out." So the cop gave Mickey his billy club or baton, and they crumpled up some trash. And 3 pitches straight, Mick didn't hit it. So he claims that he struck out the Mick.
I like that.
And he was an awesome story. Great timing to be in front of this guy at a Yankee Stadium game and hear that story. So I tell that story like this guy struck out the Mick.
That's awesome.
There's many stories of Mick. That's probably a clean one I like to share today. But Mick is the man. And then my gym teacher looked at me. He goes, "Chris Chambliss did not touch the plate when he hit that home run and the crowd rushed."
Absolutely.
And I'm like, "Get out of here." I go, "How do you know?" He goes, "Because I picked it up before he got the chance." I guess he had the play. He got it out of the ground. My gym teacher. Shout out Mr. Poulin.
Unreal.
Mr. Poulin, Waterbury, Connecticut, Chris Chambliss never touched a plate. But 4 people, Grandpa, Grandpa, and Grandpa.
Grandpa, Dad, and me.
I had a feeling, Dad, I know Dad
Yeah,
was
he'd be
really
on that.
close with you.
I mean, I had a lot of dinners with Dad, but if I could have another one,
Yeah.
it's on the list. I mean, Santa, Santa's on the list, right?
Yeah.
Of course. Plenty of Abe Newman, man. Abe Lincoln, come on over. Let's talk policy.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
I feel like everyone I pick, they usually do politician, musician, athlete, family member. But you stuck to your guns and family.
I mean, having
family
never
first.
met my dad's dad. So my father's father passed away when my dad was 9 years old. So my dad never got to really have too many dinners, with his own father. So that'd be a big deal. And if you're gonna have one grandfather, you got to bring the other one.
Yeah.
I mean, it can't. That's just a karma balance that I'm not gonna mess with.
So let's to clarify, you're gonna help me get Donovan Clingan, Coach Hurley. What about Bill Murray? You're gonna help me get Bill Murray as well.
Remember what I said about technical issues? I can't hear you. I can't see you. My mic
And
is
then
off.
Bill Rafferty. You ever
Probably the easiest get.
you ever interact with him?
At the ring ceremony.
Oh, nice.
And then at maybe at the championship game in Houston, I think he might have been there too. Well,
Very cool. Any questions for me? Any recommendations?
are you going to be golfing in the tournament? Or are you going to be?
I think we're first 2 years I did not golf, but I think hey, what's up? What's up, my dude? Pia, Mason. Come over in the mic when you get a chance, Mason. We're pretty smooth now. I got a good team. I'm very excited to be at Tunxus.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to try to play.
Okay.
But I have not played the first 2 years. I want to make sure things were going well and meet and greet and thank people and go around to see everyone. Had Seth Wickersham show up, Dennis House show up,
Yep.
GameDay Connor. We got celebs.
Yeah, you cross over the Massachusetts border and tell somebody you have GameDay Connor. They're not going to know what you're talking about. It's important to define what you mean by celeb. Cool, that'd be fun. Coming to any yard goats games this year?
I was at Irish Night.
Yeah, I saw.
Oh, yeah, we chatted it up.
Yeah.
That's why I locked in the September 14th. Our next game, I have a 12-game package. So
Oh, that's
I know I have Roberto Clemente game. I know we got to talk. That's another. All right, Mike and Tim. We need to have a sit down with Mike and Tim. We got to bump this 12 game up. You can help me with that too, right?
I'm more than happy to take your money. Yes, no problem.
All right, we're having a meeting. We got Mike
I'm in
and Tim.
sales.
Oh, and that So, come on, Mason, hop on real quick, ladies and gentlemen. Mason Pia,
Mason, how we doing?
come on down right here.
Hello, camera.
So Mason has been he's a wonderful musician, saxophone, right?
Yep.
And he volunteered his time at a couple Friends of Feeney events. Do you remember those?
Yeah, I do very well.
Which ones?
The golf course charity event, another fundraiser on New Britain, and I think
Lions Auto.
Lions Auto. Yeah.
We did a mural reveal, Lions Auto. It was great. And then Mason was the cocktail hour entertainment at one of our golf tournaments. So where are you going to college?
Northwestern University.
Northwestern.
Yeah.
Let's go. Chicago?
Yep.
Awesome. Congratulations. Are you going to play music?
I'm gonna do music and engineering, and yeah.
Smart kid and very talented. Wonderful musician. Who's your sister Josie's favorite third grade teacher?
Obviously, Mr. Feeney. No contest, uncontested, unanimous. Yeah.
Anything you want to say to the world and all our Friends of Feeney, Feeney Talks with Friend listeners?
Go support Friends of Feeney. Support Friends of Fox.
Yes.
Go Conard. Go Friends of Feeney. Have a good day.
Mason, great to see you.
Thanks for having me.
All right, we'll send you the link. All right, then. That's my guy.
Listen, before you get a shot to fill in, we're going to get Mason to fill in
right?
first. Are you kidding me?
He's pretty good. Yeah. Mason, though, brilliant. He's a really kid. Smart, talented. I mean, the saxophone, musically talented family, too. Dad's a music teacher. All right, we got some crazy questions.
All right.
Sponsored by Donut Crazy, and then we're going to get out of here. Do you like video games?
I used to play more video games when I was younger. Yeah, I like them. I just don't play as much anymore.
Do you like TV?
Love TV.
What's your favorite book?
My favorite book is a book called Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close.
All right. Would you rather eat ice cream that tastes like pizza or pizza that tastes like ice cream?
Is the pizza that tastes like ice cream at least cooked?
Yes.
Yeah, done.
What's your favorite sport?
To play or to watch?
Okay, do both.
Do both. My favorite sport to play right now is golf. Used to be soccer. And my favorite sport to watch is college basketball in Hartford or Stores, Connecticut.
Oh, forgot before I mentioned June 1st, Friends of Feeney's taking over Hartford Athletic.
Oh, nice.
You ever do the on-field there?
No, they never called me.
June 1st, what are you doing? Bring the kids.
Probably got an event.
Yeah.
Just because here we are.
It's a Friday or Saturday. Do you like ketchup or mustard?
I like both, but ketchup gets the win.
Do you like your job?
I love my job.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
How old are you?
36, be 37 in August.
Do you watch YouTube?
Not like I go on YouTube when I have something specific to watch. I don't watch YouTube as like my media outlet. I'm too old for that.
Do you have pets?
I do.
What do you have?
I have a 4-year-old, 75-pound, wavy-haired golden doodle named Tully.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I have a Labradoodle
You have a Labradoodle.
named Barkley.
Barkley, see?
But Tully, I like that.
Tully.
What's your favorite Yard Goats event?
Ooh, my favorite Yard Goats event. Well, when we did the golf event, that was my favorite. When we did Links at the Yard,
Oh, yeah.
turned it into like a 9-hole.
Are they doing that again?
I doubt it. There's just a lot that it butts up against, and it takes a lot to make that happen.
Yeah.
So I don't believe it's on the docket, but that was my... There was a night where I just got to, like, turn my music on, cracked a beverage, nobody else in the stadium. I'm under the lights, hitting balls behind home plate.
That's
That was
living.
amazing. Yeah. I love the Brewfest. They do an amazing blood drive. I mean, there's a million events that go on there, all the walks and everything else, but Links at the Yard was my favorite. I'd probably say our post-game concert at the end of the season.
Oh, yeah.
I like that, too. That's a nice
DJ Clue? Or no, was it
Who is it?
Funk Master Flex?
Funk Flex was there.
I was there
Yep,
for that.
Yep, Funk Flex. I got to intro Funk Flex, which was awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, that was fun. I like those. Because that's always at the end
I
of the
saw a dude
season.
get shot out of a cannon.
We saw the dude get shot out of the cannon. Yeah, that's good.
Those are
Goat
some-
race, the baby goat race.
Goat
is
race.
always
Fireworks are great.
great. Yep. Fireworks are good.
After
I'm trying to
night.
think of-
Did you have
Yeah.
Black Sheep or Young MC? Who'd you have?
Yes. Feels familiar.
All right, who do you like better, Lionel Messi or Ronaldo? Ronaldo.
Messi. Messi. Right? If you ever get the chance, there was this was years ago. There's an article called "Leo Messi is Impossible," and it talked about him as a statistical anomaly in more than just like Ballon d'Or and more than just goals scored, but like in very, very like analytically driven metrics in soccer. And I grew up playing soccer. I played soccer for 18 years. I was a goalie. Messi.
Messi all day. Who do you have a favorite Yard Goat player?
Ever? I mean, Chompers.
Chomper, Choo Choo.
That's my standby. Yeah,
Do you like-
I have a few players that I've engaged with more over the years, but they all go off and do their thing. So I let them work.
Do you like school?
Love school.
Do you like Mr. Feeney?
I love Mr. Feeney.
Why do you have a big beard and why are you so hairy?
Well, as you'll learn about when you get just beyond the third grade in biology, some of these things you can control, like the size of the beard. I'm not that hairy, Mr. Feeney. I let the beard go longer. Every time I shave my beard, I prefer my beard more like this, a little bit longer than this.
Yep.
But then I start growing it. I'm like, wow, I'm halfway there. Let's just keep going because I like having a full beard too. I just don't like that in between.
What's your favorite color?
Green.
Do you like money?
I do like money.
Are you cool?
Depends who you ask.
What's your favorite candy?
Reese's.
What kind of shoes do you like best?
Well, I was never like a sneakerhead, but I love my Air Max 270s, and I love a couple pairs of my J1s.
Did you get the dunks that I sent you?
I haven't gotten the dunks that you sent me.
Whalers colors.
I know.
I was like,
Yard Goats colors.
I screenshot. Oh, excuse me. I apologize. I screenshotted it, and I was like, you know who would
How am I
look
gonna
good in
hire
these?
You keep yelling about teams that aren't here anymore.
Let's go whale. All right, you guys.
Big Whalers fan.
Would you rather be rich or poor?
I'd rather be happy.
Do you like multiplication, division, or fractions?
I was definitely a bigger fan of multiplication because I can do it easier in my head. but learning division was more rewarding for me.
What's your favorite food?
Pizza from Luna.
Yes, let's go. And then, do you like football or golf? Golf better.
To watch or to play?
Play.
Golf better to play. Football more to watch.
Do you like Harry Potter books?
Read them all.
Really?
Like immediate. Like I remember when the Goblet of Fire came out. I was like in line at a bookstore on Nantucket because it was that summer, and all the boxes said like, "Wait, you cannot open this until midnight of that day." I actually got one of the boxes as a souvenir. I was a huge nerd.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you own a Stanley?
I own one. My wife owns, I think, 4.
And do you mind solving some of this addition? One
No.
addition problem. We're going to close out
You want to pick one?
this one right here.
That one? Yeah.
We're going
I
to
can
time
do
you
it right
ready?
now. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Sure. It's 16,895,558.
Jeez, no paper, no carrying the one or anything? Should I check it?
Do it.
I have to carry the one. Or you can't even see.
Told you I was a nerd.
17.
Was I right?
16,895,558. Is that what you said?
I'm pretty sure I said 16 million. Yeah. You check the tape.
Yo,
Put on a little graphic and tell me I was right in my head.
All right. Thank you. So,
What minute mark was that?
Stefania will get that math.
Get that minute mark. See if I was right.
Pop that math on there for him to test him. He did it in his head. I had to.
550.
He's a mathematician. This guy. Stefania. We're here with Stefania and Dave. I didn't even shout out. Thank you. Direct Line Media.
Outstanding work.
Direct Line Media, episode 106.
Give me 2 fun facts about you. I'll give you 2 fun facts about me.
Fun facts.
Fun facts.
What did I got? I caught a 2-point conversion freshman year.
Nice.
Highlight of my athletic career. And father of twins. I was in the Army. I still currently play over 30 men's basketball. I got a game. That's why I'm taking it easy on the food and drink today.
Are you a starter?
I started off a first round pick. I'm a 6th round pick now.
Nice. I don't know.
They're
what that
saying I'm
means.
getting slower.
Yeah.
They do drafts.
Gotcha.
And so I'm very excited to play tonight. I went last year, and 2 years ago we won the championship. Last year we did not win one game.
Yeah.
0-14. So
Nice.
I just won last week. Fun fact. JCC baller caught a 2-point conversion.
Nice.
Fun fact.
I had a speech impediment when I was a kid.
Is that fun?
something
That's
like
fun? That was fun?
Well, it's fun that I've overcome it and got a job that's like on a microphone now.
Do you want to see this right here? Look at that. Speech impediment. Oh,
Did
topics
I tell you
that we.
about that? Right. See, I told you that was one of
Speech
my fun
impediment.
facts. Right.
Tubatami.
I shout out my boy. Tubatami is how I got the name GameDay Connor. I talk about him on my website a little bit.
And I wrote speech impediment.
and
Did
I
you
had
get?
speech
Did you get pulled out for
quite a while. Yeah.
stutter or a
around.
lisp?
It's not. It's neither. It's a slur. So like CH and SH, I couldn't enunciate those letter combinations. So like church was church.
Oh
So it
yeah.
was more of a slur than a
Yeah,
stutter. I just couldn't like
jaw.
form, I couldn't
Yeah.
form the word right. That was kind of 3rd grade. I didn't go to recess for the entire year, so I could
They pulled your recess too.
very often recess.
Oh,
Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah. And then fun fact number 2, I told you I was a nerd. I took my SATs when I was in the 8th grade and scored better than most high school seniors.
Wow.
That's
Well, you definitely
that's a
scored
fact.
better than me.
Well,
Okay.
and one of us is an
impressive. 8th
educator, and the
grade.
other one throws T-shirts for a living. So who's the smart one now?
All right. Well, hold on. Let me show off some of my swag that I got, and then we'll close out.
Let's do it.
My Yard Goats hat, and then we got the hot dog and the hamburger.
Love it.
We're doing opinion writing, so I wore this today in school.
Yeah.
What's your favorite, hamburger or hot dog?
What was the distribution?
21, I think. Hot dog won.
Hot dog 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
think it
get
was
that.
12-9.
But a good burger is better than a good hot dog.
Yeah.
But an average hot dog is better than an average burger.
Great way to put that.
I think that's
yeah.
where the
Martin Russell's Meats.
Martin Russell, what up?
Yard Goats. Martin Russell, yeah.
I couldn't get their Easter special because I was flying back from L.A., but next year I got you.
Does the kibasi for Easter taste different than
I
the
don't know.
regular
I didn't get
kibasi?
it.
Oh, yeah. I have to try it. I've never tried it.
Yeah.
But I got my swag. I got you a gift. Would you I know you like polos.
Polos,
Maybe you
let's
wear
go.
that at our golf tournament.
Say the word. As long as I can rock my yard goats hat.
It matches. Well, it was wonderful talking with GameDay Conor.
Feeney,
He's
consider myself a friend. Thank you.
He's an amazing person. He's volunteers. He helps out our cause at our golf tournament. Yard Goats is so grateful and generous to us. They let us do the 50-50. We have the record. We raised the most money in the 50-50 record. I love it. Means the world. Yard Goats is a great organization. They care for our community. They give it back. Again, great to talk with you. We're at Luna Pizza. This is Feeney Talks with Friends. I'm founder and president of Friends of Feeney. Our mission is to help children and families that need assistance after heartbreak or tragedy. And again, I use this podcast, Feeney Talks with Friends, and I talk to wonderful people that are doing great things. So it was great, 106, to talk with you. Please like and share our podcast and check out our YouTube and website. And on 3, we'll say, be a good friend. 1, 2, 3, be a good friend.